Hey, this is Mick Mars, and you're listening to Guitar Radio Show.
All right, folks, welcome back to Guitar Radio Show. Our next guest is a founding member of Motley Crue, a guitarist that, in my opinion, is completely unique. His tone and his playing is instantly recognizable. His long-awaited solo release, The Other Side of Mars, is finally here, and we are honored he has taken some time out to speak with us today. Please welcome to Guitar Radio Show, Mr. Mick Mars. How are you, Mick?
I'm great. How are you guys?
I'm so glad you could be here today. First and foremost, the most important question that I have to ask you is, how are you feeling?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
I'm great. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear it. This album, man, is gigantic.
Oh, really? Thank you.
That's the first one. When I heard this record, man, I was like, whoa, it's so big. I mean, the single, I was like, I immediately emailed Steve when the single came out, and I said, wow, if this is any indication of what we're going to get with this album, this is going to be insane. And it exactly is that. It's just insane. It's an amazing record.
Thank you.
I love Go ahead.
Did you hear the whole album?
I've heard the whole album. I think I've listened to the entire album all the way through at least 16 times.
Wow.
And
I'm impressed.
It's just fantastic. You know what I really love about it is that obviously the sonic nature of it, but the urgency of the music. It has this urgent tone, this urgent feeling to it. It grabs you and pulls you in, like, to listen, like grabs you by the collar, you know?
Yeah.
In the old days when we heard music like that, we used to say, ooh, that's furniture breaking music. You know what I mean?
You know it.
It's such a great record.
Make some listening music.
That's right. The only way. Absolutely. I totally agree. I keep vacillating as to what song I go back to. I mean, when the single came out on Halloween, which was a perfect day to release it, I was like, wow, this is so cool. And I'm really listening to the lyrics. I was really zoning in. I was like, oh man, this has got to be about the Kool-Aid drinkers, this song.
Yes, that's exactly right. Did you see the video as well?
Yeah, man. I heard the song first, and then I saw the video, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, cool. But yeah, so for me, I've been vacillating between Broken on the Inside and Right Side of Wrong. Those two tracks keep pulling me back. You know, and it's just great.
Oddly enough, those were the two choices, right? And instead of Broken on the Inside, it's just a tad heavier than Right Side of Wrong.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to show a little bit more diversity, like, you know, my record's about, you know, diversity, not like, you know, the same song arranged a different way.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know how it works.
Yeah.
Musicians are weird.
Well, we are, you know, and that's good.
Yes.
Weird is good, you know.
Yes. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, I know this is like the worst question to ask a songwriter, but you know, do you have a favorite track
on that record?
Yeah.
I got kind of a tie between Killing Breed and Undone.
Undone, that's another one, man. Holy cow.
Yeah. That's like kind of a thing. You know how we guys are. We just like to play around and experiment, do stuff. You know, well, that's kind of like how I wanted, the direction I want to go.
Right.
Eventually, you know, just like not like really like progressive kind of stuff, because I'll never be able to do that. I'm not that guy. You know, I'm the melody kind of guy. Anyway, to make a long story short, it's like cinematic kind of a thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sometimes you get like, oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, absolutely. Like Undone is one of those tracks. And even Alone, they are tracks that I could see like in a Mission Impossible movie.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Definitely.
you know, with Tom Cruise driving on a motorcycle, you know what I mean? I could totally see that. Absolutely, yeah. You know, it's funny. You were once quoted. You said when you started out on the guitar, you were influenced by Mike Bloomfield, Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton, and Jimi Hendrix. And you said that they were the guys who taught you how to play real guitar. And you said, but then again, with riffs, you have to look into your soul and see what comes out.
Exactly.
And that is so true. And, you know, I put you in the same category as, you know, from a riff standpoint, I put you in the same category as Tony Iommi and Malcolm Young. You know what I mean?
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. Thank you.
And so with that, you know, when there's the birth of a riff, do you always have, because like me, I always have riffs running around in my head. Do you have riffs running around in your head all the time?
Yes, all the time. And a lot of times I can't put it down how I'm hearing it. Do you have that problem?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Or you can't get to an instrument fast enough, or
Yes.
yeah, absolutely. And sometimes I'll hum something and I can't recreate it on the guitar.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that, you got to have a microphone close to your Pro Tools, even when you're in bed.
Yeah.
To
Absolutely.
get it out right.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay. Can you slow it down?
Yeah. So when you're at home and an idea comes to you, what guitar do you reach for normally?
Mostly I use my beat up old white Strat. I call it Isabella.
The Fender.
Yes, my Strat.
Yeah. With the Floyd in it. Yeah.
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 It's a mean old guitar. It's weird. You know how it is when you plug in like your favorite guitar and then you plug in like other ones and stuff, and it's like it just doesn't come out right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
So
it's like a favorite pair of jeans, you know.
yes, there you go.
Yeah.
Exactly the same.
Absolutely.
Your good luck jeans.
Yeah, your good luck jeans. Absolutely. The gig jeans.
Yeah, that's right.
The fan feedback on just the single has been outstanding. Your fan base is so incredibly supportive, and it's amazing how far behind you everybody is regarding this record. And I've known about this record. I've been hearing about this record for such a long time. And, you know, that the fact that it's finally here, the fact that I got to hear it so early on, and I thank Steve for that, and you. And it certainly did not disappoint. Did it meet your expectations, this record?
I say yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because it does sound more like how I think. You know, it's like, here's a song. It's really good. It's really cool. It flows well. It does this, but it still has a raw energy to it, like on Loyal to the Lie.
Yeah.
You know, it still sounds a little bit raw.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
There's so much more. You know how it is. It's like you can add but to it and then wreck it all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And I like, you know, I don't know. I like to play around with stuff, and I go like it's right. Like on let's throw in Memories.
Yeah.
See, I wrote that on my guitar. I had all the parts, you know, I had the bass parts, all this, and all the effects, you know, the normal stuff that we do. And Paul Taylor, guy who played Winger and Alice Cooper, keyboard player, and I had him to play piano over it. Well, the piano parts that he did, I don't want to hear anymore. What I envisioned when I heard that piano was Freddie Mercury walking out and playing and singing, nothing else. And so it's like, you know, that song was done to me, just a piano and vocal,
Right.
you know, and strings, you know.
Yeah.
It's done.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's such a, and it was such a cool left turn on the record. I don't think anybody's going to expect that.
Yeah.
You know, and I love that. I love that you just are willing to peel the onion in this way and say, here it is. You just really, you kind of just splayed yourself open and said, here it is. This is me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
and you know, that's how that track is great. Well, you know, when it comes to the sequencing of the record, that to me, that's always a fascinating. Having been involved in a bunch of records myself, it's really interesting when you sit down at the end of a recording and say, okay, now how are we going to sequence this record? You know, I know that in the world of streaming now, a lot of times sequencing doesn't matter, but it really matters to me because I still really covet the album. The album, you know, is to me is an artist's signature. It's them saying, this is where I'm at right now. And you should listen to the whole thing. You know, it's like when we were growing up and, you know, Dark Side of the Moon came out. You know, playing one track from Dark Side of the Moon on the radio is to me is almost an insult to the record. You know?
Yeah.
So for me, this when you sat down to sequence this record, was it a challenge?
That was like kind of a, you know, that kind of like, listen to this, you know, don't, you know, it's not a mosh song or it's like, listen to this. I mean, sit back and have a blunt or something, you know, but listen to what it's doing. Listen to where it's going. Hear what it's taking you to. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So that's, you know, the way I think about, you know, my stuff, like, you know, like I was saying earlier with that cinematic kind of a flavor. It's like I love that.
Yeah.
But you know, me again, I put Minnie the Moocher on one of my records. You know what I mean? So I have so much freedom.
Yeah.
You know, to do whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I would love to hear. Yeah. I would love to hear a hard rock version of Cab Calloway. That would be killer.
Yeah, you know it. I love that song since I was a little guy.
Oh yeah, man, hell yeah! And the Blues Brothers movie, that was incredible. That version, that was great.
I know.
So, I understand. You know, I heard through the grapevine that there's already demos, some demos done for the next record.
Long time ago.
Oh, already? Yeah. So you're already into the recording of the new record, or?
The stuff I did with John.
Well, I know about the stuff you did with John, and I know that got I know that got shelved, right? Because that wasn't exactly where you wanted to get. But I heard that there's new demos that you've already been working on.
Yeah. But yeah,
that's amazing. You know, that here we are. I mean, we're talking about this record, and there's already something else in the can. I'm so psyched. I mean, you know, is it sort of like a are you imagining it to be like a part 2 to Other Side of Mars?
Oh man, I mean this new stuff that I'm working on is, I won't say like further out or leave, you know, music is music, you know, but you know, that being a musician, you just like throwing out what you feel. It's like taking like Undone, Killing Breed to a different, heavier type of thing, but still cinematic. And this new stuff is heavier than that. I mean, not that to me at this point doesn't really matter if it's great or feels great to me, then it's done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, and that's the thing.
I'm sure that you do.
Oh yeah, I can totally. I mean, it's got to feel right to you before it can feel right to anybody else.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you ever record something and then come back and listen to it an hour or two, or even the next day, and go, "Oh, what was I thinking?"
Yes, absolutely.
I have to, but I don't want it to get mixed in with something else. You know, I'm working on this, but how did I get there? And you start freaking out. What did you know? That's the no. Let's get rid of that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes,
I totally agree. It's happened to me more times than I'd like.
I know, me too. I got like I don't know how many, like a Killing Breed.
Yeah.
I've been like working on that song for years, and it first started out called Beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
But I had rewritten it so many times I don't know which one was Beginnings.
Wow.
So I changed it to Breed. And did so many of those, it was like, and I went, Killing Breed. And then it was all there. You know, I mean, after the fact, you know.
Right.
It's like, Killing Breed, okay, this is the one. There's only a few of those, but God, the list of stuff that's there.
Yeah.
And, you know, really long. But
Going back to the song Right Side of Wrong.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that was like two sides of a fight, both thinking that they're right, and they're both wrong. They're both way off.
Do you know what? That's exactly what I wanted to get across. Is like Spy vs. Spy. They both think that they're right in their way of thinking.
Totally.
Have you seen you haven't seen the video yet because that hasn't been released.
No.
But there's a part right at the beginning that you'll understand what's going on. But it's actually what I had in mind was like if the guy in white changed heads with the guy in black,
right?
They both still think they're right. missing what's in between, the gray area.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I had in mind, kind of like with the black and white. You know, everybody knows black and white's gray. You know, so it's like. It's kind of like going like, okay, well, it's a gray area. Who's right and who's wrong?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you always think. I mean, that's why people argue, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
They both think they're right, but they go like,
it's a testament to the world.
Yes. It's like, you know, that's the way the next video that's coming out on that one, right, is. It pretty much, I think that you'll get it. You know, I mean, the listener on you know will get it.
Yeah.
You know, by seeing that and going like, oh, that's right. Because, like, if a Jedi thinks that Darth Vader's the bad guy and he's the good guy, but Darth thinks he's the good guy and he's the bad guy.
Right.
But there isn't the gray area in the middle. You know, so
yeah, totally.
That's what.
Totally.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The track that ends the record, it's called L.A. Noir. To me, this was the perfect way to finish the record. An instrumental, and it's like a signature from you. It's like, you know, and I could definitely hear that song while tooling down Sunset. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that song was I really didn't know if anybody would dig it or not, but loosely not loosely, I was very much thinking about the old sleuth movies in L.A.
Oh.
Those ones, the Flatfoot, the sleuth, the detective, the private eye, the undercover, those old black and white movies from the 40s. Exactly what I was thinking.
That's
you know,
cool.
with 6/8 time, you know.
Right.
So it's just not like 1, 2, 3. You know, it's like it flows. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I needed to at least do something.
Well,
and it makes me smile that you like it.
I'm glad. I mean, it's totally you. I mean, that's you right there.
Yeah.
I dig it. So let me ask you about the gear, because if I don't ask about gear, people are going to be angry with me. So obviously you used Isabella for most of the tracking?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most and my let me see. Yeah, mostly Isabella, and I have a couple of other strats that I use from the tours, that I've done, and some regular old strats and stuff that are normal,
Right.
Just for ambience or nuance,
Right.
better word,
Right.
for the, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
and
amplifiers?
amplifiers were Magnetone, Marshall, Soldano, and Fractal.
Cool. So it was a mix of all of that. You were just kind of.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All of depending what the song was,
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, this, you know how it is. You go like that. The song's good, but it needs something else, and you twiddle around with the tone a little bit. And you go, stop, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
you know how it is.
Oh, I totally do. Absolutely. Yeah. That's so cool. It's a really interesting mix of amplifiers too. Did you ever run them together, or was it like, no, this track is going to get a Magnetone, this track's going to get a Marshall, or did you kind of run them together sometimes?
I don't know if I fully understand what you're saying.
So in other words, so like you were tracking. So like, for example, like with Loyal to the Lie, that to me, when I first heard it, I was like, oh man, that's got to be like, his White Strat and a Boogie. That's kind of what I thought.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. That was the White Strat with the Marshall. That's the Jose Marshall. Yeah, I'm sure you know about.
Oh yeah, I know about the Jose Marshall.
Yeah. I got a few of those, and actually, this is going to be weird.
Yeah.
The one I played that.
But you're gonna have to repeat that. You dropped out. What did you say? You said this is going to be weird, and then you dropped out. What'd you say?
Oh, okay. I said that the Marshall I used on Loyal to the Lie is the same one I used with Dr. Feelgood.
Oh.
So
wow.
I just like I said, playing around with tones, playing around with this.
Wow, that's cool. I love that record, man. I love your tone on that record. It is. It's insane. Yeah, I mean, and that totally makes sense. But this is like to the next level of tone on Loyal to the Lie. It's a whole nother man. Holy cow. Yeah, I remember when the video came out. I put it out over all my social media for the show, and I said, y'all got to check this out. And people just lost their minds. They were like, "Oh my God!" And that's when I started to really hear from your fan base, and what they were saying is like they're saying, "See, you see, he was the crew." I'm always like, I'm not one of those guys that's me being saying like. I get all flabbergasted or whatever when people hear me and appreciate me and stuff. It's like it's like and so many it's like surreal, I guess. Yeah. I can dig it. I can dig it.
And especially apart from Motley,
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know. I get like tongue-tied.
Well, I hope you're proud, because I it's a great accomplishment. It really is.
Yes.
Yes. So on on keyboards we have Paul Taylor, right?
Mm-hmm.
On some of the vocals we have Jacob Button.
Mm-hmm.
And you have Korn drummer Ray Luzier.
Yes.
And
Brian Gamboa.
And Brian Gamboa, right?
On Killing Breed and on Dawn.
Right.
two different songs, two different vocals.
Yeah.
But also, Brian on those two songs were the type of voice I was hearing, which is more angst, more desperation. And with Jacob, he's got this really clean, powerful voice. And I go, that's for that. This is for, you know what I mean? It's like two different, you know, what happened to those days? Two or three different singers, you know?
Yeah.
If they're around, I'm saying, God bless you, you know, but the guys, you know, the old school guys, like, you know, from the 80s and stuff, which changed like one singer. Right. My voice is drawn out. I can't sing anything. Okay, can you sing it tonight, John? Yeah, I can do it. Okay. You know what I mean? It's like to give the guy a break for a minute. You know, you sing 2 or 3 songs. You know, sing.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
You know, but it's, you know, evolution. There we go.
Yeah.
Evolving. Yeah. That's cool. It's with me too. I love that.
Totally. Yeah. That's why I like the early days of Kiss. You know, because you had Paul singing some tunes. He sang the majority, and then you had Gene singing some tunes. Ace would do it, and then Peter would be in there. So it was that was really good because it really gave you such a wide variety of sound. It was so cool.
Exactly.
so you got and then the guy who ended up mixing and mastering the record, he ended up playing the bass.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I had another guy playing on it, but there's something weird about bass guitars when you put them on. Mm-hmm. They always sound out of tune. so I had to have, you know, Chris he's amazing. I mean, I can't even tell you how cool he is. But he came in and redid all the bass parts with a new modern kind of sound. The same with the drums. You know, not with like the snare with the real tight head popping off like popcorn or something. You know, it was more up to date sounds and stuff that Chris knows because he's like in his 30s, so he's young. He's right there.
Yeah, you know? Yeah.
I was so happy hearing that stuff. You know, I was going like, yes. That was so cool, you know.
That's cool. And overseeing all of this, you had somebody that you worked with on your very first record, Too Fast for Love. You had Michael Wagner, who's an intense character.
Yeah, Michael and I go way back to the club days, you know.
Right.
And we've known each other well over like maybe 45 years or so.
Wow.
Longer maybe.
Wow.
And with Udo, he came out from Judy with Udo, and so we were like, you know, just having goofing around stuff and, you know, playing around. They came down and saw this huge club band that I was in, you know, and that. But Michael actually recorded one of the songs from the club band I was in, original song, which stunk, of course. And then when Marley started, and this guy came in, and he was like some kind of a rookie or something. He could barely plug in a microphone, and he recorded it, but he recorded it direct into the channel. And you know how to record, like you record like something in a different channel and get a really good tone, and so it goes to tape or whatever flat.
Right.
So you have a lot of room to go everywhere. But I'm sure that you know all this stuff. But he recorded it wrong. And I had to call Michael in to fix it the best he could.
Right.
Many people like that version better even than Roy Thomas Baker's version of Too Fast for Love. So anyway, long story short, I brought Michael into the thing. He did my first album, my first recording, and my last. Or his last. So his first recording in California, right, when he was introduced to it, and to California and LA and all that crap. And the last album was mine that he recorded. So it's kind of, it's cool. It goes a full circle.
Yeah.
You know? And he hasn't lost a thing.
Yeah. Well, it's funny when you work with somebody like that you've known so long and knows you so well. It really must make the process so much easier.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I mean,
we call each other we call each other Bone. He goes, "Well, Bone, that doesn't sound good to me." I go, "All right." So yeah, he's fun, man.
Yeah,
Marco's a great person.
That's cool. So I know that with all of the the issues with your back and everything else, I've got issues with my back. I can dig it totally. I know that traveling is really a nightmare. But do you think there's going to be some like kind of one-off shows of this material?
There could be like one-offs, but like kind of like separated, not like you've been on tour, so it gets and your body gets like so beat up.
Oh yeah,
and your brain goes every which way.
Yeah.
So it's like I could do like one-offs or like a residency, like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
Like or something like that. But as far as traveling the world and doing that stuff, my body is way too gone.
I can dig it.
But especially with this crappy ankylosing spondylitis I have, I mean, I really don't like the way I look on stage. And I'm all bent. I look 10 times older than what I am. And, there's just a lot of shit,
I can dig it. But you know what? The fans don't care. They don't care about that. All they want to hear is Mick Mars. That's all they care about.
Oh, that's awesome. Maybe I could hide behind a screen and just have a hologram,
right?
Of
like
myself when I was young and healthy.
Like what Kiss is getting ready to do.
Yes, exactly. But you know what? They're doing more of a cartoony thing, which I think is cool. It's great. That cartoonish kind of thing. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm
totally into that stuff.
They got Industrial Light and Magic to do it for them. That's crazy.
You know it. So, yeah, it's cool. And it's also what's the coolest way you can carry on your legacy?
Right?
You don't have that many years left on the planet. Look, I'm still here. You know what I mean?
I thought they should have done like an American Idol thing where the four members of Kiss currently would audition new members of Kiss and have them perform, and then once they pick the 4 guys, they send them out on the road.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be wild? Yeah. That would be wild. I would watch every episode of that.
Definitely. but you have to put when I was a little guy, bonehead little kid, I kind of like thought in that direction, but the technology they have now wasn't there.
Yeah.
And I was going like, why? So when I get old and I have my kid, and so he can take my place and spot, so it keeps carrying on. And his kids might, but technology kicks that all to the curb,
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So this record's coming out, I believe, February 23rd, I believe it is.
Yes.
That's the date, right? That's the final date. We finally decided on that. That's cool. I'm so psyched for everybody else to hear this. We're going to wrap things up, but we're going to leave on a tune. What tune do you want us to leave on from the record? We came in on Broken on the Inside, just so you know, because we wanted to break some furniture. So,
did you play the one for my next video yet?
Right Side of Wrong? No, we haven't played that yet.
Okay. Maybe do that one, because you know what? That was, I think I told you earlier that Broken on the Inside and Right Side of Wrong were the contenders to be second.
Oh, okay.
and I chose Right Side of Wrong because it's a little bit different and a little less heavy than Loyal to the Light. Just to kind of like do a diversity, because I know that Broken on the inside is like pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
So, and I don't want to, go like, yes. So if you want to do like the
Right Side of Wrong.
If you want to do Right Side of Wrong, that would be cool.
That's what we're gonna do.
Pardon me?
That's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, we're gonna sign off right. We're gonna sign off right here. You hold on 1 second, though. Okay.
Sure.
All right.
Check out Guitar Radio Show on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher Radio, GuitarRadioshow.com, and anywhere you get your podcasts. Find Guitar Radio Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And remember, if you like the artists you hear on Guitar Radio Show, don't just stream their music, buy it.
GRS Productions.